I am Frau Brucher. Who the f*** asked you?
ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Bandai Movie Monster Series, Baragon 1965 from Frankenstein Conquers the World. Or Frankenstein versus Baragon.
Frankenstein.
Ah, just look at this guy. Look at this adorable little character. Who is that? He kind of looks like Igor when you really look at him from the front.
Mister, you playing?
Anywhoodles, taking a look at the tag over here, we've got Baragon 1965, Godzilla 2023. My tag came a little muffed up, unfortunately. Flipping the tag around, we can see that the side is cut out to Baragon spikes back here, Frankenstein versus the subterranean monster Baragon, Bandai Movie Monster Series. And we got the usual stuff on the inside. For the first time in over 20 years, Baragon finally has a new Movie Monster Series figure release. So let's just get to it, yeah? I mean, that's definitely Baragon. The bulbous eyes, the black pupils, the very doggo looking look to his face and ears over here. It's a stunningly beautiful recreation of our favorite little puggo kaiju. And as per usual from Bandai, when it comes to the details, it's, oh my god, is it sublime. Paint-wise, he ain't really featuring all too much, as you can see. And there really ain't anything going on his back either, which I have this to say once more. If you weren't here for my Playmates Barry review, check this out. When you turn him around and you see all of this color, this is an indication that this guy's color palette was essentially based off of how Barry looked in Destroy All Monsters. For those who don't know, the Baragon suit was lent to Tsuburaya Productions at that point in time, where this particular suit would be made into Naranga, Gabora, a few other monsters as well, and that's kind of where this first appeared. So in a technical-ish sort of way, we got Destroy All Monsters Baragon, and if you get the Movie Monster Series version, you'll get the Frankenstein Conquers the World Baragon, solely just based on the presence of paint. Alright, we all caught up. Paint time. Dear Lord. The brunt of the paintbrush when it comes to Barry is mostly on his face. Those adorably bulbous eyes, my slightly warped horn over here, and these decently painted teeth, at least when it comes to the front. The rest of the sides are okay. Was very much hoping for a little bit more of what we got from Playmates on this release, just because, I mean, this doesn't look bad, not at all, really, but he's looking kinda boxy. Especially in the mouth. And now taking a look at the Baragon claws, they've got a nice little spritz of color over here. It's a little bit of the same color as the horn up here. It's a little less creamier than the horn. Kind of starts off that way and then it kind of fades into a white. Seems a little bit cleaner on this hand than on this hand. Interesting. And the exact same thing can really be said for the Baragon toes, though they mostly look the same. Both the claws and the toes will be unpainted on the undersides. There you are for visual aid. And as I already pointed out with a flashback bit, there is going to be no yellow paint on his back or to the tip of his tail, though I'm not going to lie, it looks like there is a subtle shade of a different color on these. And boy do I mean subtle. I don't know, more so over here, it looks like there's another shade going on there, but I'm pretty sure it's just my brain baking under these photography lights. Either way, the detail is fantastic. And unlike the Playmates version, they'll actually be detailed on the underside as well. Maybe I'm not crazy. It definitely looks like there's a presence of color on these. Or maybe Bandai's just playing tricks on me. It almost looks like they sprayed him with like a very light, dusty white. See what I'm saying? Maybe that's just the way the vinyl was made or something, but I don't know. I'm definitely picking up on some different colors here. Either that or I am going absolutely insane. The insides of the ears are going to have some nice wrinkle details in there. The top of his head is going to be very bumpy and warty looking. His little Baragon nose is going to be pushed in like a pug. Eyes, for the most part, seem to be looking mostly straight. This eye's looking a little bit lazy as compared to that one, or vice versa. Holy God, I think they actually sculpted in the eye holes in the neck. Thank you, Bandai. I appreciate that. Moving down into the waffle square titty area and crotchal area, fantastic detail on the torso, and the arms as well. Yet again, very bumpy and haughty looking. Fantastic details on the inside of the arms and hands. Fantastic details on the tops. I just noticed that there's like little bumps over here on his neck too, and on his back. Wowzers. This is definitely a figure that's going to be taking many detail spots for sure. I mean, this isn't new news when it comes to Bandai vinyl figures. The details are always on point. Man, look at those legs. I love the look of the original Baragon. Although Playmates' unintentional Destroy All Monsters Baragon had a lot of this as well, I just feel the details on these legs are much more pronounced here than on the Playmates version. And that's saying something, because the Playmates version was beautiful. I mean, if a bit wonky. But look at this guy. He lives and breathes the wonk. Got some nice wrinkles towards his gut, moving into his crotch. More of these waffling squares on the underside of his tail, and they follow through all the way to the tip. Very, very nice stuff there, Bandai. I really do appreciate that. The side of the tail over here isn't really all that impressive, which, you know, I'm not going to knock it. It still looks nice. It's just there's no major discernible details there, but if you know, zoom in and really hold them up to your eyes, you can see some light detail work at play there. I swear to God, there's another color on this back, and it's really, really messing with me because this doesn't match this. Not at all. I'm not going insane. There's definitely another color on here. It just amazes me because it's like that all the way. Actually, no. It looks like it stops right about here. Yeah, it does stop there. Man, if this turns out not to be paint, I'm gonna look fucking insane. Y'all see this too, right? Like, there's a darker color on there. And let me see if I can get to the area where I believe it stops on the tail. It stops like right around here, once the little ridges become a lot less pronounced. It's either a different color or they did some kind of weird mystical magic to it. But whatever it is, I'm going to award 1965 Baragon 2 solid stars in terms of paint and detail. Articulation time. All the way around at the arm, all the way around at the other arm, all the way around at the leg, all the way around at the other leg. Now, does his head move and does his tail move? I am happy to say yes and no. I'm sure some of you eagle-eyed viewers out there noticed that little glue stain right there. Yes, unfortunately, no movement at the head, but there will be movement at the tail. I'll take it. For real though, there really should have been a swivel at the head, but I'll still give articulation a solid star just because the tail, it actually moves, which is an on-again, off-again thing for the Movie Monster series. Anyway, small GMK, medium-sized that guy, and large Shingoji. Baragon's definitely a little bigger than I was expecting as compared to other recent newer mold releases from the Movie Monster series. And he pretty much encapsulates everything we saw in the promo art, so I really don't have any massive complaints with this thing. He's got a nice presence to him, his ears are nice and folded out and everything, he's got these big bulbous eyes. I mean, I really don't have any issue with what Bandai put out. I guess a part of me is just kind of hoping that there's going to be a repaint at some point where they just give him all of the Destroy All Monsters color, maybe a different head for accuracy, I don't know. I'm impressed, and I really like it. I'm just not head over heels in love with it, you know? And that in no way makes it a bad figure in any way, shape, or form, and it's a very much welcomed homecoming for Barry. I just noticed, next to my horn being warped, I think my Baragon's head was actually glued on crooked. You see, he's kind of like pointing this way instead of directly at me. Interesting. Nope, definitely not insane. Glued on crooked. Whether there's paint on his back or not, whether I was the one unfortunate person who got a glue-sealed neck or not, I have to give Bandai credit for this. This is a pretty dang good release. And the best thing is, when compared to the Playmates version, it's just... why don't I just show you? I don't know, I think they're both pretty dang good in terms of Baragon releases. Aside from the paint, there's definitely two different kinds of experiences going on here. It's almost like Bandai and Playmates are in cahoots with one another. And I really can't fairly compare the two because they are two different Baragon figures. So yeah, like I said in my Playmates review, go Playmates, you'll get the Destroy All Monsters Baragon. Go Bandai, you'll get the original Baragon. Now Toho, I'm gonna need you to celebrate an anniversary of the GMK film so we can get new 6-inch movie monster series figures of all those creatures, because that'd be great. I like them. I like them a lot. I'm not crazy about them, like I said, but I do like them a lot. Yeah. Anyway, that's about enough out of me. I have been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you enjoyed this review. Social media, Patreon, the whole gobbledygook. You hear it from me every video. And when next we meet, which will be tomorrow night... thick turtle soup! Bye. Now, Bandai, I'm aware that SH Monster Arts is your rightful focus, but why is it that Mechagodzilla is so small in comparison to that of Baragon?
Tell someone who gives a shit.
Uh-oh!